to Atlantic Television to watch. This is a program mental societal issues. Give them aggregate attention with a view to provide solutions that will benefit humanity. And today's society of issues to look at, starting from Ogun State. Once again, speeding after 5 dies in clash. Security EU calls for end to criminal activities in Niger Delta. On crime, law enforcement officers nabbed 32 suspected ritualists. On promotion, traffic wardens frustrated over 16-year career stagnation. These are the issues we'll be looking at today, and I have a public affairs analyst with me in the studio. I will introduce him to you when we return from this short break. To stay with us.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network. You can follow us on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and Atlantic TV Network 1. You can also watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Joining me in the studio this afternoon is a public affairs analyst. I'm talking about Gospel Eze. Thank you for joining me. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mark.
It's good to have you on my show.
Same here. Happy to have you too.
All right, our first story for today is from Ogun State.
Okay.
The Ogun State Sector Commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Anthony Uga, has cautioned motorists using the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway to avoid speeding, as it is a major cause of accidents on the road. Uga issued this warning following an accident that resulted in 5 fatalities and 4 injuries along the Fidiwo section of expressway. He urged drivers not to treat the expressway like a rat trap due to its good condition. A statement read, in part, the command carried out a rescue operation on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway around Fidiwo Bridge at about 1,480 hours. The crash involved 9 persons, 6 female adults and 3 male adults. And a total of 4 persons were injured, while 5 persons lost their lives from the crash. 3 female adults and 2 male adults. Probable cause of the crash were wrongfully taken, speeding and tire burst, which led to the loss of control and of the road. The injured victims were taken to Victory Hospital, Ogere, while the corpses were deposited at the FOS morgue, Ibaremi. The accident was blamed on the reckless driving on the part of one of the truck's drivers, who made a sudden U-turn without trafficking, causing the truck behind it and another bus to lose control and ram into each other. It's quite unfortunate, and may the souls of the departed rest in peace, but it is a very serious issue, and we keep sounding, and we will not stop sounding this concerning speeding, because this is major issues, major incidents that has actually caused road accidents in the recent time and even before now. So, Gospel, what do you think it is the best way to actually look into this? Because people keep talking about speeding, but it seems the more we talk about it, the more a lot of persons engage in that, in speeding. At times, if you ask them, where exactly are you going? I mean, it's not somewhere that demand that kind of speed driving. it is not, and again, another issues that we are having here is, I know people always say we are looking at those at the top. You see government officials, they do this too. So what is the best way you think we can actually tackle this in our society today?
Well, thank you very much for having me here on this program. Like what we're doing, keep sensitizing people, sensitization on the use of the road. You know, in advanced countries, there are speed limits. And I heard that some time ago, the government gave a decree that they should have fixed speed limiters on their vehicles. So I don't think they have enforced compliance. So if we have these things, they should be enforced. They should enforce compliance to avoid this kind of incessant loss of lives. You know, Nigeria is a populous country, and by reason of our strength, is known for the numbers. So we should stop losing people. There should be the enforcement of law and order on our roads.
Do you think there is no enforcement of law and order already?
Umaklete can agree with me that most of them are there just to extort money from the road users. So that was coming here. The driver, our driver was stopped by one of the road officials. He was not concerned about the road and all that. He was concerned about more money, and we all complained about it. So I think the law enforcement agencies should do something about it. There should be discipline, there should be morals and decorum in these decisions of their business.
And you see most of these road safety agencies,
Okay.
what they do, I mean, they're not particular about particulars.
Okay.
They're more interested about the extra tire in the vehicle, which is actually very necessary.
Okay.
They're more interested if your lights are working. Of course, those are the things that they are supposed to check.
Okay.
But you see a man that is trying to overtake where it's not necessary, and they don't caution them.
Okay.
Do you think they are not really, they are lagging behind in terms of carrying out their responsibility? Or do you think there is a situation of the country that we find ourselves making them to leave what they are supposed to do what is, what they are not supposed to do?
Makaleta, I bet you that so many heads of families are under pressure right now because of the economic situation in Nigeria. You understand? Where inflation is on the rise. So most of them are just after what the driver doesn't have, so they can take money from him. Today, our driver had to show them his particulars. And the particular officer was there, like, if everyone was like, he will not go chop. Do you understand? So they're after what the driver doesn't have, so they can extort money. I bet you, later, they're not concerned about the lives of people. I was saying something some time ago in a particular review on one other platform, that over there in the West, every citizen that dies or is injured is treated as a god. But in Nigeria here, the focus is not the life, but the money I can get from what is happening right now. You discover that in an accident scene, people are searching their pockets to take away their monies instead of finding how do they get help. So you see, the thing is to focus on money instead of protection of lives.
And again, you see some taxis on the road,
Okay.
vehicles that is being used for to convey people to one
Okay,
place or
yeah.
to the other. Looking at the car alone, you are wondering whether this one can actually get to the destination that it's going.
You see?
Have you seen something
Sure,
like that?
Sure.
And some, when you get into the car, you're wondering whether it's cockroach that is living there. And then they don't do anything about that. They don't check all of those. I remember last year where a particular vehicle fell break and caught fire immediately at that was Lagos State, one of the bridge there. And then people were wondering, how come these road safety agencies how come they don't look into all of this? I mean, there should be a kind of car you see on the road and you are like, no, this one cannot go. Because you are looking at the cars on the road that is roadworthy.
Good, that's what I was going to, roadworthiness.
But they don't check that, because if they do, there are so many vehicles that will not be on the road, right?
Yeah, sure.
So why do you think they're not doing?
Again,
You still tie this to money?
Yeah, because you see, the road safety, Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, is there to check roadworthiness of vehicles. But you know that are road users. You will all agree with me that they are after what the driver can give them. In fact, they will tell you that they charge higher money for this kind of vehicles that are not roadworthy. So you see, it boils down to pecuniary gains at the expense of lives. So if we treat lives as being as sanctity, being sacred, then this is to be checked. But as long as you keep focusing on the money, they pay also, and so they use chop or Ghana, so we will keep losing lives, Mark, later. I bet you. That's why the media is a watchdog of society. They carry out like what they are doing now, surveillance of the environment as a watchdog to teach the society what should be done and what should be abdicated.
Have you ever been in a spot where you are in a vehicle, taxi, or better still your car, and there is a truck beside you or behind?
Yeah.
Have you ever been?
Sure, I have. Yes.
You know how they behave?
Yeah.
They see those people inside Jeep or, I mean, those smaller vehicles
yes.
as ants.
Sure.
And then they always feel that they are the almighty. And because of that, when they want to drive, because they know that if something happened, they have 50% of being, of survival. But the other one in a smaller vehicle, I mean, is, let me say, it's 50-50. But then it should be 60-40. So they tend to drive anyhow. They tend to, the issue that we just, the issue we read here now is because there was a truck driver who applied a U-turn without looking, without paying attention, and that caused a lot of persons going down and some in the hospital. Don't you think it's high time our leaders come up to address these people, or better still, get a separate road for them? My mother told me something that there were a time where truck drivers, there were a time in I think Lagos State or thereabouts, they were only allowed to apply the road at night. They don't use the road when in the daytime when other people are, doing their normal businesses and all of those, because this thing fails break anyhow. It can easily ram into people on the road. It can park on the road and all of those. It can inconvenience what's it called, a traffic flow. So because of that, they were only applying the road at night. But now, a truck driver is dragging road with a smaller vehicle. What do you think the government needs to do? Is it to get a different road for them? Is it to tell them to start applying the road at night? What is the measures that they can put, what are the measures they can put in place? Because if we take statistics of an accident that has happened due to involving truck and a smaller vehicle, it's alarming. So what do you think can be done?
Okay, Mark, in answer to that question, let me take your mind back to, you have been in an upstairs vehicle, in an upstairs house, for instance. You've been upstairs before. If you live, I just came from Lagos and I was living in upstairs. You know, Lagos is full of houses with upstairs because they're trying to conserve the land.
Well, the time I used to see them as poor people.
But you see, when you're upstairs in the house, you see those who live down as disadvantaged.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you understand that feeling? So I will tell you, that's what these trailer drivers do. When they're up there, high and mighty, high as I would run down and go my way. This one would die. So that's the feeling they have. If you've gotten a drug trouble before, you still have that same feeling. They feel that they are up there in the mountain and nothing can kill them. So, like you're saying, I was in Cotonou before I came from last year, for about 2 or 3 years now. We never experienced one traffic gridlock because there are regulations. In fact, if you do anything, you are arrested on the spot. There is discipline, there's law and order. So the truck drivers have a time allotted to them when they should move. And at that time, the road is safe for them to move. And we heard that, at a particular time in Nigeria's history, that these bigger vehicles were asked to move at a particular time when the roads will be clearer. But you see, breakdown of law and order is setting, and they are doing things indiscriminately, and it should be checked by the National Assembly. There should be a law guiding this, that's what I think.
All right, the next story for today is on insecurity.
Okay.
Zesimos Vegas, the deputy head of mission to Nigeria for the European Union, has urged for the eliminations of the factors that contribute to criminality in the oil-rich Niger Delta region. Speaking at the launch of the Peace Promotion Project, tagged a community-centered approach to transforming criminality and violence in the Niger Delta in Abuja on Thursday, Vegas called for a paradigm shift in addressing this scourge. He said, "We all know we cannot address the structural problem of Niger Delta region directly, but what we can do is highlight the paradigm shift and the theory of change that can convince a lot of people Out of our interest in seeing Nigeria achieve its status as the giant of Africa, what we can do as a partner is bringing resources to the table so that Nigerians partner can work around their challenges. This is very important to highlight. Through this process, we are learning because we definitely don't come around to historical problems pretending that we fully understand the solutions. What we know and bring from our society is that the inclusive societies do better. The EU supports inclusive community approach to addressing systematic drivers of violence in the Niger Delta region. This must commend the consortium partner stakeholders, democracy network, academic, HP's work and partnership initiative for the Niger Delta for working together to propose an alternative narrative to the interference of violence prevailing in the region. The Minister of Niger Delta Engineer Abubakar Momo, who is Special Assistant James Kamoba represented, he said, "We hope that a community-centered approach to transforming criminality and violence in the Niger Delta project serves as a compass that government towards a more holistic understanding of problems in the region and a potential pathway to sustainable solutions." Now, according to Zizemos Vegas, we all know that we cannot address the structural problem of Niger Delta region directly, but what we can do is highlight the paradigm shift and the theory of change so we can convince a lot of people. So what kind of inclusive community method do you think the EU can endorse to tackle the underlying factors of violence in the Niger Delta region? Of course, they have stated here that they can't fully say they understand what is going on. And of course, we totally agree with them because even we as a citizen, we really do not understand what is going on in our country. That is why we keep saying the only solution is just to keep praying for God to intervene. But what do you think is the best method they want to endorse in order to be able to speak to the mind of people? Because right now, a common Nigerian is not ready to hear that focus. Is not ready to hear that, I mean, anytime you tell a Nigerian person to have hope, they get so angry. So what do you think they can do because the level of insecurity in our country is alarming?
Well, you know, this issue stems from leadership failure, as a matter of fact. There is a lacuna between the led and the leaders. You know, if you go, I reside in LMA, we have our family house there, we have a house there, and that's where I grew up before I went to Equatorial. Some 3 years ago or thereabout, there was, during this dry season, there was this fog or soot in the black soot in the air, and it happened in the oil-rich region of LMA where we are. In fact, where we are is the center of this oil hub. And you see people inhaling this black soot. It was leading to so many deaths. So the government is using the community to extract oil, but leaving the people impoverished, leaving them at risk. So the government should bring the government nearer to the people, sensitize them. When you go to some areas in the creeks or in the Niger Delta region, those people are poor, living in poor city, in utter poverty. There are no basic amenities. Some of them use the river as a source of excreting waste. So the government needs to do something to intervene. Look at the plight of these people. In fact, that is what has orchestrated. They are going into criminality to take up arms. You heard of the Niger Delta Avengers who were at the neck of Ibrahim before he passed on, and he still rest in peace. And other people, one after the other, to challenge the federal government. And you see some militants who have also taken to the streets because of the insensitive nature of the government. You should not turn a blind eye to what they are going through. If you should take oil extracted from my environment, you should make my environment habitable for me.
And then apart from the oil, now that the EU said they have come in and they are concerned about the insecurity here, do you think that if the oil issue is settled in Niger Delta, that the insecurity will reduce, if not completely eradicate?
Immaculata, let's be frank. 95% of people in churches are there because of poverty.
Now what?
In church of poverty. They are poor in Nigeria.
That's why they're there?
I don't agree with me. Yeah. I'm a pastor. I go for programs.
So, no, let me understand that. 95%.
95% are in church.
Are in church.
Because of poverty.
Because of poverty.
In Nigeria, yes.
Not because they want to serve
I'm telling you the truth. I can tell you from experience. As a pastor of many years now.
Let's understand.
Good. The average Nigerian is sick, is poverty-stricken, needs to have money in his pocket. He wants to eat. You understand? So it has made him almost a criminal. He has lost his sense of sanity. So when you are poor, the poor man can do anything. Recently, I was reading the case of a lady who was asked to strip herself naked on phone to send a particular person abroad for money. And he's a Christian in church. Do you understand? So poverty is the bane of Nigerian society today. So if it is tackled, for instance, are you aware that in the West, America, I'm sure, once you are born as a child, in fact, one of my brothers traveled to Holland with his 4 children. You believe me, later. He arrived tonight, for instance. By the following morning, there was a knock on his door. Are your children in school? Can it happen in Nigeria? No. So such a country, they have the statistics and data of everyone who comes into the country, every immigrant, everyone who is born there, and all that. They have the records. But Nigeria has no record of such. And that is why poverty is pervasive. So if poverty is tackled, for instance, I was saying that now those children, if they are indigents or if they are citizens, for instance, as they are born, they have welfare packages. They don't want to go and take to crime. But you see, in Nigeria, you are at your own risk.
Well, I am still very much interested in that story that you say that majority are in church because of poverty. But before then, now that EU, that's European Union, they have come into this matter because this is a serious matter in Nigeria. Insecurity. We're not saying that other places there are no issues of insecurity there, but I think is on the high here. But now that they've come in, do you think it will have a way of drastically reducing? Because they are saying that they do not completely understand, but they can highlight some things that can actually convince the people that this is the best way to live. And we have found ourselves in a situation where the hardship somehow affects people psychologically. Someone said that to be a Nigerian, being a Nigerian is not easy. It's a serious matter. And now they have come in. They are interested, of course. So do you think whatever thing they want to highlight will help us work better? It will have a way of talking to people, let me call it ministering to people. Do you think it will have a way of helping us?
As a clergyman and as a cleric, I want to say that whatever they do must first address the common man, how to put food on the table first. Why would I want to die when I have food on my table to eat? I have clothes to wear. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Why would I want to take risk? But when I see that, for instance, I am not taken care of, I can go to the extreme. So whatever the EU is doing, thank God for this medium, they should address the issue of poverty and paucity and penury. In the Nigerian scenario, they should address it with getting these poor people off the streets. And while enlightening them, they cannot be taken. If I came before I came, I've eaten already. I was served food. So I'm eating, I'm talking with the authority. If I were hungry, maybe I want to fast without food, I won't be able to talk. So they should address the issue of poverty and penury and paucity so that there will be life expectancy.
All right. Mr. Gospel.
Yeah.
Pastor Gospel.
Yeah.
Now I want to ask, you are saying that 95% of Christians are in church because of poverty.
Yes.
Do they share money in church or do they share food? Are they in church because they know that as they're living, they will live with one bag of rice or they will live at least with 10,000, 20,000? Why are they in church? Because if you're telling me that 99%, 95% are in this place because, are in the markets, I would say, okay, that's why they don't go to church, because they want to sell and make money. But telling me that they're in church because of poverty. Is it that? Let me know.
Later, you're a reporter. Do a research. Maybe I'll come back next time. There are churches who do these welfare packages. Go there and see the crowd steaming. One of them even offer transport after church. My members have come to me and said, Pastor, why don't we start giving people food and money after service? The church will be full.
Do you do that in your church?
For now, at my own level, yes.
Okay, because you know that this is what is bringing Nigerians to church. So why not start the welfare?
Please, if you assist me with some more after now, because I'm telling you, in my church, where I pastor, for instance, what is even giving most people there? House rent, school fees, this, that. My husband doesn't have a job, and those people are the ones in my church
And
today.
I suppose it's mostly women.
Women are the worst hit most times. Even the men who are there, they are also those who are impoverished. So I look to God, as you always say in Nigeria here, for that.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's
It's interesting, right? I laughed already.
And I love asking my viewers question. Of course, you can drop it on the comment box there. Pastor Gospel is saying that 95% of Christians are in church because of poverty, not because they want to pray, not because they want to serve God. They are going there, that is to say, is for their own selfish interest. Who knows? Are Christians really in church? Are 95% really in church because of poverty? Has it gotten to that extent? Let me hear from you. This is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network. Don't go nowhere. We'll just go on a very short break. When we return, we'll look at the rest of our stories. Interesting ones. Do stay with us.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring honest pop news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honourable
You human trafficker.
Honourable they are not picking our calls. They made up their mind.
So no agreement with the EU, but
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring honest pop news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. and the globe day.
Back if you're just joining us, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network, and now the rest of our stories. A star suspect in a case of ritual killings and sales of human parts in Ogun State at Debayo Aze on Thursday shared a telling story of how he had used a dating app, MyChat, to lure and brutalize more than 7 women, mainly for money rituals purposes. The 32-year-old Aziwa being paraded at Ogun State Police Command Headquarters, Elewaran, Abeokuta, confessed to being a part of ritualist gang, specializing in killing women for money rituals. The arrest of Aziz followed the apprehension and public parade of 7 other gang members of these alleged rituals on February 15, 2024. Those paraded were 2 herbalists, Moses Abidami and Oluwa Samuel Monday, as well as 2 alleged priests of Cherubim and Seraphim Church, Prophet Peter Oluwalosele and Prophet Jamil Yesuf, over the brutal killing of one Sulamon Adijat, aged 35, for money rituals purposes. The dismembered body parts were then allegedly sold to Oluwa Monde Samuel and Alpha Ariwo for ritualist purposes. Alamatu added that 3 suspects confessed to killing of 10 different ladies at the Igbo Olomni residence of Moses Abidami, as he is narrating his modus operandi. Explained, "I got the ladies from MyChat, a hookup app. When contacted by Oluwaji, I would negotiate with the victim on the app, finalize the deal, and provide my address in Atan Ota. I will pick them up, transport them to Owuraji's house, where we execute the inheritance act. I joined the gang in September 2023, participated in murder of 7 women. I do not know the ultimate purpose of the group. My role was merely to source victims and collect payment." He added, "The shocking revelations from Aziz's confession have sent shockwave through the community, highlighting the need for increased vigilance and awareness regarding online interactions. Authorities are working tirelessly to bring justice to the victim and their families while dismantling the ritualist gang responsible for these horrific crimes." This is disheartening. We just talked about a church, and one is involved in this. Now, you know, we are living in a society where you see people get to meet people from not even knowing them, and they don't even care about their security. They just go. I mean, someone just chats you up and then you are going to meet the person already, not minding where you're going, not minding who the person is. You can hear from the suspected ritualists here that they use these chats.
Online dating apps.
Online dating apps. Yeah. Oh, goodness. They use online dating apps yes. to lure girls. Yes. And according to them, they've used 7 women for ritualist purpose. Yes. They have killed them for purpose. And let me shock you why this thing came online. You know, they actually used this lady's head for, they pounded it, burnt and panned it for their soap. I don't know if you have been hearing people say, call soap for me. Exactly. This is the soap they're talking about. Okay. And some guys from Edo State actually went to purchase this. At the end of the day, what they got the soap for Because the ritualists told them that when they use the soap, they will get 200 million within 2 weeks. But unfortunately, what they purchased the soap for did not work. In the process of trying to interact with the ritualists, that what you did for us did not work out. That is when the whole of this story came to the public. Why do you think that youth at the age of 32, why do you think they involve in rituals, in killings, when it doesn't yield fruit for them?
Margaret,
the result.
I think you need to buy me a cup of chilled milk or give me a drink for this. Just as though I prevented it in the first story. Poverty. I just said that. It's coming back. It's boiling down. The Nigerian society is bedeviled with poverty. Poverty ravages the society, and it is terrible. It is terrible. It is mind blowing. It's frightening. It is parlous. You will not imagine the level of degradation that people are suffering because of poverty. Honestly. You know, even as a pastor, ladies send me chats, even this morning. Please, sir, I do hook up. Can you pay me so? I'm telling you the truth, 40,000. It's on my phone. I can show it to you.
For you to do hook up?
Just imagine that. And I don't, you know, I'm a pastor. Even pastors patronize them because they in their need of money. Yes.
Pastors patronize.
That's what I was told. Yeah.
Oh.
On my phone, I have 2 messages where 2 people, a young man at Imo State buried his mom alive because he was promised to get 200 million for this money rituals. Yes. The second one was a man shot his only son. I don't know if you heard it, because of the last food in the house. Because of food. And
we also have the one still in Abia State where the son removed the father's left eye because they said he's going to make money from it. Okay. I mean, let me understand. You say pastors do,
yes.
They patronize who?
These ladies are desperate to make money. They are poor. They're impoverished. They need to eat food. A lady called me. She said, please send me 3,000. I'll send you my nudies that I need food to eat this morning, my breakfast. Please. I just blocked. You know,
do you just let them go, or do you have a way of encouraging them, like calling them, talking to them? Maybe they need someone to talk to.
I have tried. I can only do the one I can do. Some of them have heard this. Some of them, it shock you. Over there in Cotonou, some of them are pastors' children. It shock you. When I went to evangelism, I couldn't even look at most of them. I was looking up to God for help because they were almost naked. They needed money. They are on the streets as hook up people as prostitutes. They need money desperately. So you see, but that's what I'm saying. Poverty in Nigeria is ravaging, and we need to do something about it.
And again, if you are saying that, oh my goodness, if you're saying that that according to you, you are a pastor, sure, so I'm quoting you, that a lot of pastors do patronize hookups. Yes. that is quite it's quite appalling. Okay. You were saying that a lot of pastors patronizes hookups. And we are saying that this is a denomination that's supposed to lead youths on the path of righteousness. So is it a society that is now leading youth, or, I mean, how do we preach to people when we have gotten here? You just heard that a prophet, cherubim
and seraphim was involved.
He actually needed a woman's body parts to use a miracle. Okay. And that is how we go here. Yeah. Is this part of the society that we found ourselves? Or don't you think that this is upbringing?
But later, if you are called by God, it doesn't remove the humanity in you. Now, I'm telling you the truth. If not as I know this God from my childhood, I would have also veered off the path because the situation in this country is challenging. It's biting hard. We must say it. When you buy a liter of petrol for almost 1,000 naira, and the desperation for money is there, children cry for school fees and all that, you look for other means to make money. Now, the church should be a place encouraging moral rectitude. But sadly, they buy from the same markets. The pastor, the prophet, they go to the same markets. Their poverty is ravaging. They see their mates doing other things that they can't do. Their wives compare them to other people. See your mates, is a car. You don't know what they're doing. Recently, someone was showing me something. A young boy moved into our city and bought a pure water company, sachet water company. with everything complete, and they say he's a Yahoo boy. They say, look at you, you're praying, what this young man is doing.
But let me ask a question. Who came up with this idea that a pastor must be a full-time pastor? Because yes, I know that some of them will say, yes, on Monday we are doing counseling, on Tuesday we are doing counseling, on Wednesday we are doing counseling, on Thursday, and they keep saying, giving you activity. Does it really stop them from doing something? If you are saying that the level of poverty in the country has made a lot of pastors to deviate from the main calling, of course you have said that being called by God does not take away the humanity. You are face a man before man of God, right? Yeah. But why can't they do something else to survive? Why can't they buy? What do they call it? Share from other company? Why can't they do something else? Must they always wait for other people to come? Because I mean, what if you don't have the required member that you need to be able to make the church work? Because whether you like it or not, you definitely need money to make the organization to work. So why can't they do something else? Is it an excuse? Is the situation of Nigeria an excuse for them to go this path of even using human parts for rituals in order to make the organization stand? They think that it's not even working to start with, because with what we are hearing, the 2 million they wanted to get in 2 months, in 2 weeks, it didn't work. So why do they keep killing? Why do they even go to this path? Can't you drop the call and tell God, I'm not picking this call again?
Okay. Do you know the skill set that we need to survive in today's Nigeria is not what we needed many years ago. Many years ago, things were better. But right now, with the advent of computer and on the internet, the crave for wealth is more. Materialism has overtaken us. And if you operate today's ministry with yesterday's mindset, you'll be stuck in the mud. So you see, needs have changed. Wants are also changing. The society is becoming globalized. People are becoming exposed. For instance, right now, you can't say a pastor without your children going to school. It's an aberration. So you see, if, for instance, I've been a pastor for the past 35 years, and that's all I know how to do. I don't have the skill set. For instance, if I were not skilled enough, if I didn't go to school, I'll not be here at this program, right? So if I don't have the skill set to make money, to do anything else except the ministry, what do you want me to do? Or resort into crime? So even we who are here, what helps us is our certificate. At times, when it regards I go to work.
Why not leave the ministry and go and work?
Good.
Why not close down your church? If you know that your church is taking your time and nothing is coming in,
okay,
and you have children to train,
okay,
why not close down your church? If you're becoming frustrated,
okay,
the birds of the serving God,
sure,
the fishes in the sea that are serving God. So if you are working in a shop and you're doing well, you are serving God. So why not close down your church? Go and work. Instead of staying in the church and say, okay, nothing is coming, let me go for rituals. Let me kill women. Let me kill my fellow man to make money.
Okay.
I'm trying to make you understand, is that an excuse?
Now, that is not a valid excuse. But you know that.
But somehow
this ministry is finicky. The pool, if you are called into ministry like I am, I hated ministry, God is my ministry, ab initio. But they call it like a pool, like a drag. You keep saying no, it keeps coming after you. Ask those who are called. You keep saying no, it keeps coming after you. When I was called into ministry, I said, no way, God, I don't want to be this. My dad was a pastor, as a general myself before he died. I said, I don't want this kind of thing. But I couldn't do anything for several years except the ministry.
But you picked the call.
I picked the call.
And you know how you've not done rituals.
You know how I've not happened for one day.
You did not commit crime because you want the ministry to work.
No, I stayed on.
So when it becomes so frustrated and you go back to the one who calls you.
Yeah.
All right, so we do not have any excuse.
There's no excuse, actually. There's no excuse, but it's where we are today. Yes.
All right, before we go to the next story for today, I just love to talk to our women out there. I know there is this particular app that they say, yes, it's dating app. You keep seeing it popping up on your social media platforms, and they're telling you you can log into this if you're looking for someone that will love you or someone to be loved. It is no longer safe. They are using this to lure people into another thing. About 7 to 10 women have gone in for this. About 7 to 10 women have been used for rituals via this app. So women, be wise. Be wise. This is not the way. Life is not that hard. Get something doing, and I mean, Nigeria is going to be the best place for you. Someone said, I'm not promising you that Nigeria is going to be better But I promise you that your life will be better if you do something good with your life. All right, the last story for today. A member of Nigerian police force recruited into the traffic warden service in 2007-2008, speaking anonymously to our correspondents, has expressed frustration over what they perceived as a stagnant career. We that are recruited in 2007 and 2008 have experienced promotion only twice. On the other hand, our colleague in the general duty who were recruited at the same time as us in 2007 have reached the rank of inspector. Ironically, they and our senior colleague recruited into the traffic warden service in 1989, 1990, 1991, 1992 are now on the same rank of inspector. Many Nigerians have spoken to our boss, Inspector General of Police, but he knows why he's doing it. And they said we are part and parcel of Nigerian police forces when Senator Buhari of Oyo North and some members of the lower chamber sponsored a bill to give us autonomy. We just want you to urge them to look into our case. For instance, I am a BSc holder and I have a family to feed. They should help us because the entire scenario is frustrating, and the officer added. Can you believe that our senior colleague who were recruited in 1999 to 1993 have only been promoted only 4 times? Can you imagine? They have only been promoted 4 times in 34 years, whereas their colleague in the general duty department have been promoted at least 7 times. The discrimination is too much. Why the discrimination? The officer query. But when General Basenjo as civilians president came to power and IG Belagun was there, he removed that obstacle and promoted some senior one before that rank. Now the Police Act and regulations clearly stated that we can be promoted up to the rank of DSP. The ex-IG Solomon Arias implemented it, and we had dropped and believed that the charge has come to stay, but disappointingly, the IGs after Arias did not continue. Former IG Alakali in his time also commended the promotion process and even nearly signed a promotion, but he could not till he left the office. I'm interested about this story because, you know, we saw in reports where some teachers, lecturers were lamenting that they have been in the office for over 15 years and no promotion, and they have just been there. So the traffic wardens had earlier written to President Tinubu seeking for his intervention. According to what he's saying, that means it's really disturbing, but at the end of the day, nothing else still happened. I'm asking Gospel, why do you think one will work for this number of years and no promotion, even after writing to the president?
It boils down to corruption. If there are laws and ethics guiding this profession, they should be implemented. All these are documented. The Nigerian state is not a new state, so to speak. And like Wole Sheikh advocated, if it's too big for you to handle, why not break it into segments?
Are you saying there are no laws guiding, or there are laws but not well looked into?
There are laws that are not being implemented, just like we talked about that of the road safety, etc. There are laws, but these people sideline them. It will amaze you at the level of corruption and decadence in the system that has made people turn a blind eye to what they should be doing. It has made the leaders irresponsible. Otherwise, there are laws and regulations that if you after a certain time, should be promoted. It's there, even with God. He keeps at a time, promotes it to the next level. So if the leaders, in fact, someone said that God has blessed Nigeria, but our problems are our leaders. The hydra-headed monster of corruption has eaten into the fabrics of Nigeria and it's affecting the entire sector, not only this FRSC. So the leaders should be called into question. Why has not been implemented? Why are you afraid of your subordinates rising through the ranks? Why? They should be questioned, and there's something should be done about it.
There is something I used to hear, and I'm still hearing, that I am the leader of tomorrow. When is the tomorrow coming?
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
Yeah.
You see, you heard that our lawmakers are advocating for more extension of their stay in the House, legislators.
Yes.
So you see, the allure and the allure of power, the trappings of office have not let them go. Someone was giving analysis of how much they make. Look at you and I are struggling for how to buy petrol, but people are buying high-powered cars.
So how will the leaders of tomorrow rise?
Emerge. So that's what has orchestrated and occasioned this die by fire prayer. If you ask me in the church now, die by fire, because the old have refused to retire. You say, Professor, when I was in school, it was shocking. I had a professor who was shivering, apparently. She was already old. I won't call her name. She was already old. But she wouldn't leave the seat. She was enjoying her job. Why? You could hardly hear her when she was teaching in class. But she refused to leave. This is about the law states this and that. And some of them...
And I believe she was praying for her children to get a job.
Good. Do you know they have 2 ages right now? Have you heard of it? Even in football, official age, your real age. So these are things that are bedeviling the society. These are the cankerworms eating the fabrics of society.
Oh, wow. Leaders of tomorrow. Let's keep hope alive. Tomorrow will soon come.
You say amen to that.
But we don't know when. Thank you so much, Gospel, for joining me on this show. It was good having you.
It's my pleasure. All the
on
time.
Society Watch.
I'll come anytime. I'm here to.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And to our viewers, thank you for joining us on this show. If you miss out, we have platforms for you to follow. But don't forget, I am Immaculata Irikana. Join us on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X Atlantic TV Net, website, atlanticnetwork.tv, YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. You can also get our app from Play Store, Atlantic Television Network. Do remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching and continue to stay connected on ATM socials till we come your way.